Alrighty. Shall we continue? Uh-oh. Yawning already. We're in trouble. As you can see, things got a little dicey for some top seeds, but for the most part, all the top seeds advanced. Sans the Barbs. And unfortunately, save for one game, got manhandled by the D-backs. There was one game where they made it look very interesting as well, but sadly, another decade starts and another Barbs early exit from the postseason. So we're into round 2, aka the DCS. We've got some sweet matchups. Arizona versus Miami. Toronto versus Texas. Battle of the Rivera and the T's. California and LA. They've fought many, many times since Mikey's been in the league. Probably close to 10, I bet. The Rockies and the Expos. That's kind of ironic, right? Expos franchise that doesn't exist. Wait, never mind. I'm losing my mind. Expos turned into the Nats, right? Rockies are just a straight. I was thinking of hockey, where the Nordiques went to become the Avalanche. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. I think I should have done the games. Got no random Detroit Tigers, hopefully this time. Here are your starters. Alrighty, good luck to the teams, and off we go. We start, games go a little faster, double the speed until the end of the game. Things are close. Toronto made it out of the first round. Once they make it out of the first round, they are a very deadly team. John Charles starts things off with a solo bolo, opening the scoring in the DCS. Montreal also puts one in. Half of the first, 1-0. Likewise for Miami, Aiden Serrels living up to the hype, having a great postseason. Speaking of great postseasons, Dade Craig has had a heck of a postseason. Of course, the fact that he's named Craig, and Dodgers are run by Craig, makes it all the more fun. Schaffner with a solo bolo. Miami's up 2-0. Ball ties the game up with a fielder's choice for Cali. Colorado also ties the game. Rashid Morales scores Aiden Nutt, the MVP. A little bit banged up, but looks like he's alright. Enough to play anyway. Ibrahim Avellino, also the MVP of the previous series with the 2-run jack to break the tie. 7 hits for the Dodgers, only 1 for Cali. 4-1 as Elijah Reigel. Haven't heard that name in a long time. I also haven't heard Wyatt Hicksenbaugh. Doubles in Stevens and 2 more. Zane Vitt. 2-run single, 4-1 for California. Toronto scores 2 more, also on a double. Jose Antonio Sanchez. Across the board. This is jacked for LA with 1 away here in the 4th. They had a chance to really bust it open. They've already got 10 hits. Kind of a miracle the game is still this close. Second homer of the day for John Charles. Oh my god. A 3-run jack for Flash Poe after Jason Ball doubled in Campos and 5 runs on 5 hits. California is actually winning this game. That 4th inning looks a little different now when LA had a chance to bust it open. Montreal with the bases jacked and stacked at the bottom of the 5th, but with 2 down. They do get 2 across the board, though. Hitting them within 1. Toronto running away with it now. It's 6-0 on a double and a single. Game tied in LA. Quinn Reynosa singles in Henry Lane. 7-0 for Toronto. Getting a little lopsided. Well, not a little, really. Quite a bit. Miami still hanging on to that 2-0 lead. Looks like Arizona cannot solve the Miami starting pitching yet. Wow, and another lead change. Pintracool, the wildcard MVP, with a 2-run jack in the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 8th already in Miami. They are leading by 2. It's like game gets to the top of the 9th, we'll slow it down. Right, there it is. 8-0 for Toronto. Game tied up at 5 in the 8th inning for LA. They have doubled the hits of California, 12-6. Montreal, Colorado also tied at 5. 9 hits for Montreal, only 5 for Colorado. And 1 error to Montreal's name. I don't think of any consequences. The game is tied up a bit. A Baileveld solo shot that I missed. Leading off the inning, it's a final in Miami. They shut out the potent Arizona offense. Looks like the Barbs might have sucked them dry. Made them spend all their runs in the first series. And Colorado takes the lead late. I think that's the 4th lead change of that game. Juan Pena doubles in Stevens. Bottom of the 8th, down to 2 outs for LA. Oh, speaking of Juan Pena, he has left the game with an injury. Another Colorado injury, by the way. This is, I think, the 6th injury. But they are shipping out a lot of wrecked players, so you can't be too surprised. Yeah, the one thing about wrecked players is a lot of times they're cheap. They're good when they're not hurt. Juan Pena, however, has a sprained ankle. Not sure how that's going to affect him. We carry on. Top of the 9th in LA. California has a chance to take the lead. Bottom of the 8th in Montreal. They trail by 1 after Erickson Baileveld. Blast from the past. He was a longtime Rocky, and then did he go to free agency? I thought he did. Then he's now back in Colorado. I could be completely wrong about that. I'm going to click him real fast. Yeah, he played for LA for a season. There's the go-ahead run for Cali on the base pass. Sepulveda. Yeah, I'm still going to say it that way. He grounds into a double play. Bottom of the 9th, LA with a chance to walk it off. Bottom of the 9th, Texas about to get shut out 8-0. Out hit almost 2.5 times out hit and 2 errors to their name. Galvez gets hit by the pitch. Final out for LA before we see extra innings in game 1. We are in extra innings and J.R. Voetlin pitches a 6-hit shutout. What a goddamn Chad. Montreal 1 out now. Pintracool at the plate. The right guy. He walks. That brings up Isaac Dix. He was huge last year in the playoffs. We haven't seen his name barely at all. He lines out. Curtis, who's 3 for 4, is the last chance. They need a big hit. No can do. Colorado will steal game 1 on the road. 6-5 in a game that went back and forth and back and forth. And now our eyes turn to the Dodgers and the Angels. No surprise these teams are slugging it out tied up. They always match up and feel like it's always a goddamn slugfest. Well, 2 on the corners with nobody out. Yeah, this is going to do the trick. Quinn Reynosa. LA takes a commanding early lead. California with a huge 3-run homer to take the lead. And LA claws their way back. Snipes the victory at home. Tale as old as time. J.R. Voteland, obviously your player of the game. What's this game score? I want to see it. Got to be in the 8. Anytime you can get an 80-plus game score out of your starter in the postseason, man, that's pretty cool. Pretty rare gem. But it's probably like 85-ish. Depends on how many he struck out, actually. Only 5 Ks. It might be a little low, but let's take a look. 78. Dang. Yeah, just not enough Ks to bump up the game score, but still. Regardless, 9-inning shutout. Robert Bell and Grant Hawkins round out your players of the day. Did I save it? I'm paranoid I didn't, so I'm going to save it again. Oh, I definitely didn't save it. Oh well, better safe than sorry, as they say. Alright, game 2's coming up. Take a look at the starters. Wow, Griffin David, 1-0 with an 8.44 ERA. LOL. Alrighty, game 2's. Here we go. Good luck. Colorado with guys on second and third with 1 out, now 2. But Rashid Morales doubles in Hixenbaum, Baileveld, and they take an early lead. Toronto taking an early lead again. Goodfellow singles in Van Pelt. They have second and third with 2 outs as well. And they make it count. Luther Valles doubles those 2 in. And it's 3-0. Texas has not had a lead or even been tied for a single inning of this series. Jesus. Arizona gets their first run of the series. Kyle Sessions singles in Regan. Alec Tart with a 2-run shot flips the script. I missed Royce Bankston grounding out to score Reynosa for LA. They took the lead early, but California flipped it again. Again on a home run. Obviously, it's very early in the game. John Charles, boy, he is heating up at the right time for the Jays. 4-0 now. They're already threatening to run away with this one in the second. Texas needs a clawback inning here sooner than later. They need to score a damn run. There they go. Second and third, nobody out. And there we go. Dylan Howe singles in Pena and Akin, cutting the lead in half, 4-2. Okay, well that is a clawback inning. If I've ever seen one, a 3-run jack from Hansel Monga. Bases loaded with 1 out. And a triple! Wow! Okay, well, they saved all their runs for game 2. 8-run second. 9-run second inning. What the fuck? 9-4 on 9 hits. Well, looks like we may have a series on our hand. Jesus. Lyle Mejia with a solo shot for Arizona, doubling up 2-zip now. Montreal 5-2 on. Well, there's a 5-run third, I think. Pintracool, Carvel, and Baker with singles and doubles, scoring a bunch of runs. 5-2 for the Expos. Yes, indeed, 9 runs in the second inning. I'm sure Texas Sam's happy to see that his team's actually alive. LA tying and then taking the lead. Henry Lane and Elijah Rigel. Again, no surprise. Whenever LA plays California, it's always back and forth. On the corners for Miami with one away here in the fifth, stealing the second, taking the double play out. And there they go. Maldonado grounds out scoring one. Reedy grounds out scores another. Sarl singles, and they have the lead. Royce banks him with a 2-run jack, spreads the lead out. 2-3 for LA, and Colorado with another injury. I am seriously, when I say this, is like the 7th injury for their team this postseason. Erickson Baileveld, who guess every guy I've clicked on is wrecked. You can't be too surprised, but oh man, Baileveld played for Minnesota last year. Woof. Sprained knee day to day. Probably will play through it, but out of this game. Stevens singles in Vit. They score a run. 5-3 now for Montreal. 2 on, 1 out for LA. A chance to bust it open. They had this same chance yesterday in the 4th, and they didn't capitalize. Well, the Toronto just made it interesting. A 2-run shot from Todd Goodfellow. 9-6 now. Montreal also threatening to bust open a big inning, and they have a single. 2 singles have scored 3. It's 8-3 now for the Expos. Still only 1 out and runners on the corners. Another run. Doc Curtis. Another run. Yeah, they are running away with this one. They are going to easily knot 11-3. They're going to knot this series up at... Holy shit, calm down, brother. That is a 8-run 6th inning, 13-3, 16 hits. Oh my God! For the second game, John Charles has hit 2 home runs, and the fucking game is tied in Texas. Both with 9 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. An absolute slobber knocker in Texas right now. Fortunately, Yunal Campos has left the game with an injury for the Angels. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, that's the longtime Toronto Jay who went to free agency. Boy, another wrecked player. Survey says back spasms. 1 week. We carry on. I missed Miami here. They added an insurance run in the 7th. The Rosamena. Oh my God. Hansel Mong with his 2nd home run of the game. Breaks the tie. It's 10-9. But Texas uses Yorley Iglesias, the wild card MVP. The injury. He got hit by a pitch. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Not like this. The Gopher. Okay, just a bruised thumb. Okay. That would have been crazy if he got thrown at and knocked out. Alright, well, we better slow it down at this point. This is a lot going on here. Bottom of the 8th, Miami up by 2. Looking for insurance. About to hit the top of the 8th with California trailing by 2. Game is over in Montreal. It's Texas and Toronto. That has been absolutely nutty here. Toronto went up 4-0. Texas then scored 9 unanswered runs to make it 9-4. Then Toronto scored 5 runs on 2 separate homers to tie it up, and now Hansel Mong is the difference maker. The solo shot in the 6th. Top of the 9th, Arizona trailing by 2. Where are the runs? 2 on, 2 out for Cali. Alec Tart at the plate. He's probably maybe been their best hitter this postseason. They need a big hit here. Top of the 9th, tying run is at the plate after Yasvani Torres singles, but Sessions grounds into an absolute dagger of a double play. A 1-2-3 inning, and Miami will take the first 2 games at home. Drawn 2 out for Toronto in the top of the 7th. A pinch hitter, Vito Montiel! He does the job! Off the bench, Vito! With a 2-run double, and Toronto takes the fucking lead. Wow, man. This is nuts. Oh, big insurance runs for LA. Lou Lewis with a 2-run jack in the bottom of the 8th gives him a 4-run lead to LA here. Montreal does take game 2, and they will split the first 2 at home. LA on the path here to also take the first 2 at home, likewise with Miami. Oh, hold the phone! Sepulveda triples. That scores 1. With 2 away, they need some magic. Ball strikes out. Santos at the plate. No can do. 7-4. Now we turn to Texas, where Toronto is poised to take the first 2 on the road. We're hanging on to this slim 1-run lead, which my gut tells me is probably not going to hold up. Bottom of the 8th, trailing by 1, pinch hitter Johnson comes into the game for Texas. He grounds out. Here's Mong. He's got 2 homers and 4 RBIs today. He strikes out swinging. Messiah Brighton. That is a walk. Tying run on the base pass. Lopez into the game for Toronto. That's the closer. Teddy Lopez. Here's wildcard MVP Irizarry. An error brings John Galvez to the plate. Oh my God! An error in the bottom of the 8 allows Texas to tie the game. Disgusting. You just knew that 1-run lead was not going to hold up. And now we go to the 9th, tied at 11. The Katana, Chihara into the game for Texas. Trying to keep it a tie game so his team can walk it off. Sanchez singles. That brings up Emerson Faust. A wild pitch. Moves the runner to second. They walk Faust intentionally to get to the shortstop. Ivan sees flies out. That brings up Hooft. Full count pitch to Hooft. He strikes out swinging. HPV. But he been going down on the ladies a little too hard. Bottom of the 9th. Texas with a chance to walk it off. Atkins strikes out swinging. Got to get to Teddy Lopez, though. Martinez, the catcher, 0 for 4. He walks. The winning run's on the base pass. Howe grounds into a fielder's choice, so he's sitting at first. Shortstop Hassan. Steals second, Dylan Howe. But Hassan grounds out. We go to extra innings. 2 games, 2 extra inning games. How long will Lopez last? How long will the Katana last? Well, he gets a 1-2-3 inning back to Teddy Lopez. He's got 30 stamps, so he's probably got another inning in him. Bottom of the 10th, Texas with a chance to walk it off. Hansel Mong. Only 2 outs. A 1-2-3 inning for Lopez. Back to Chihara. He's got 55 stamina, so he could definitely go 3 or 4 innings. No reason to take him out now, so I'm sure he'll be taken out after the next batter. 3 clean innings from Chihara. Lopez still working on his 3rd inning. Gotta be getting close to tired now, and he is! And he gives up the goat, and Galvez wins the game in an absolute fustigation of a game. That didn't make any sense, but I'm gonna stick with it. 12-11. What a wild one down in Texas. They say everything's bigger in Texas, right? Well, so are the goddamn scores. Let's get to game 3. Whew. Goodfellow, Galvez, and Mong are your players of the game. Yeah, I want to read what Voss actually said. I looked over and all I saw was HPV, and of course you know what I'm going to think about that. The Voss model is rolling out HPV, hit/pitch variance tracking. Arizona Ryan's HPV in that 2-0 loss was 96.9. That's really high, man. Might want to see a specialist. I don't know what that percentage refers to though. What's a good percentage? Lower or higher? Hit/pitch variance. I'm gonna need some explanation there, Vossbot. Alright, game 3 is coming up. I don't even know if Voss is listening or not, but that is too much for my pea brain right now. Alright, game 3's ogle the starters. Miami with a 2-zip lead, LA with a 2-zip lead, so both 1 seeds have a 2-0 lead. While the other 2 series are tied up at 1 apiece. Colorado 3-0 at home. Oh baby, look at this. Texas is 3-0 on the road, while Toronto is 3-0 at home. So obviously something's got to give here. Let's find out right now. Yo, you know what I just thought of? Amin, weren't you going to start a goddamn financial YouTube channel? I was so looking forward to that, man. Where financial advice, man? Colorado quickly jumping out to a 3-run lead. Stevens with the sac fly, Juan Pena with the 2-run jack, and oh my goodness, I think this is the first lead for the D-backs. Jake Dan, another man with 2 first names. Oh, this is a banger. Get Homa with a solo shot, cuts it in half, and Monty Noboa, who the fuck is that? Also with a solo shot. It's Montreal on the board. Bases loaded for Colorado with only 1 down. Morales singles in 1. That's to bust it open, but no, they only get 1 run. Can't be too upset with that if you're Montreal. They have runners on the corners now with nobody out. A wild pitch will score 1. There's Alec Tart, giving California the lead. Game 3 at home. Williams doubles in. Runners on second and third. Only 1 out. Montreal looking to take it back. Bases loaded for Big Balls Hunt. He sack flies. And then Monty Noboa picks him up. Doubles in 2 more. 6-4. 6 runs on 6 hits. Jesus, dude. A short-lived lead for the Rockies. Duel here in Toronto. Already to the bottom of the 5th. Appelkern 5 clean. There's Alec Tart again for California. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's been their best hitter. 2-0 now for Cali. Coda Burgos, or Burgos for Texas. Also with a clean 5. Break the scoreless tie. Toronto in the bottom of the 6th. Gonzalez and Goodfellow single in the double makes it 2-0. And another single makes it 3-0. Pena doubles for the Rockies. They're back within 1. They have the tying run sitting at second base. Now third, but with 2 down, Aiden Nutt cannot get the job done. Angel Vidal for Arizona gives them a 2-run lead. Bases, no, not loaded, sorry. Second and third with nobody out. Toronto looking to blow it open here. Wild pitch. Not like this. Scores Emerson Faust. Toronto still runners on the corners with only 1 down. That's a big second strikeout. The game is tied in Arizona. The deadline deal from the Cubs, Willard McKeon, with a 2-run jack to tie up the game. Pretty sure he was from the Cubs. Alright, we're about to hit the top of the 9th, so we're going to slow it down. Top of the 9th, Texas down 4-0. Well, and that 2-run tying home run is erased in the bottom of the 7th. Trent Schaefer for Arizona. What the fuck? Trent Schaefer hits a 2-run jack to make it 5-3. Colorado has a 2-run homer from Pena. That gives Colorado the lead, and Royce Bankston hits a 2-run jack to tie the game in LA. 4 2-run home runs in a row in the scoring box. Another shutout for a Toronto pitcher. Peter Appelkern. Talked about how much I liked that trade with Tampa Bay that he made last year. Appelkern paying off. Top of the 9th, Miami trailing by 2 after the massive 2-run jack by Schaefer in the bottom of the 8th. Not the closer. Ekstrom. Oh my god, a 30 stamina Ekstrom pitching his 3rd inning of work here in the 9th. Where's the closer? LA with 2 guys on and nobody out. Ekstrom will get the 3-inning save. Would have got the save regardless if he came in. Bases loaded with 1 down for LA. Can California get out of this jam? A huge strikeout for number 2. Now they have to deal with Avellino. Top of the 9th, Montreal. They get out of it! Montreal has a tying run on the base paths. Now sitting at second. I think that's Pintracool at second base. He runs really well. Baker at the dish. Armstrong trying for the close. Gets Baker. A wild pitch moves the runners to second and third. And Colorado barely hangs on. Cali has the winning run sitting at second base, and they win! Sepulveda puts it across the plate, and we've got series everywhere. Pena, how did Appelkern with a 9-hit shutout or 9-inning shutout didn't get player of the day? I guess 2 home runs, but come on, man. And ooh, one of my favorite names to say, Elpidio Stancel. All 4 series, excuse me, now at 2-1. So no bonks this morning. What was this guy's game score? 84! Bro, he should have been the #1 player of the day. I'm sorry, but it's fucking incredible that he got scammed. I guess 2 homers and 5 RBIs, but still. Alright, game 4, last game of the morning here. So it looks like Texas did lose their first game on the road. Now trailing 2-1. Yikes. Jeb Heron is 2-0 with a 2.08 ERA. Dude, is everybody on Colorado wrecked? What the fuck? Every Colorado player I've clicked on so far is wrecked. It's crazy. Alright, game 4. Here we go. Good luck. Montreal out to a quick 1-0 lead. Pinch or cool. Wild Card Series MVP. I think he's on his way to MVP this series so far, if Montreal should happen to take it. Excuse me, sorry. Morton Ventura singles in Baker, now 2-0. Runners on the corners for the Jays with only 1 down in the bottom of the first. But Gonzalez grounds into a double play. Well, and there goes the lead. Rashid Morales having himself a hell of a series. The 2-run jack to tie the game up at 2. LA takes a 1-0 lead. Yelberto Cruz. Did I just say Yelberto? What the fuck? Yelberto. There's Pincher Cool again. Doubling in DiCaprio, giving Montreal the lead once again. We haven't seen much from CJ DiCaprio for the Montreal Expos. Same with Dix. Those were big names for them last year. They gotta step up. Sepulveda is heating up for California. Giving Alec Tart a run for his money for the best hitter on the team. Second and third, nobody out for Colorado. McIver singles in 2, still second and third. Christian Giblin singles in 2 more. It's 6-3. Oh boy. Bases jacked and stacked for Miami here in the top of the 4th with only 1 down. The big second out strikeout. And they get nothing. Meanwhile, Royce Bankston quietly heating up for the Dodgers. 2-run jack to tie the game up. Pena triples in Giblin 7-3. Never mind, make it 7-4. Wayne Baker with a solo shot. Now Montreal second and third, nobody out. They need runs here. Holy shit, I don't know who Noboa is. But he is fucking heating up at the right time for Montreal. He singles. Santiago singles. They're within 1. Texas gets 2 runs. Wait, I missed the first run. Sorry about that. John Galvez singled in Iglesias, and then Iglesias grounded into a fielder's choice. But that scored Ventura. Jesus. Arizona takes the lead off an Angel Vidal single. But got an injury to Josh Long for Texas, the starting pitcher. Rutrow. Survey says he has got a sore shoulder, moderate throwing. Yeah, that for a starting pitcher, that's pretty much a injury that they're not going to pitch through. I doubt it. Rough one. Well, this is game 4, so he probably wouldn't be back for game 7 anyway. And you probably wouldn't be pitching him in Game 7 even if you wanted to. Regardless, Texas has to go to the bullpen early. Okay, well, and another injury. Barolo Maldonado leaves the game with an injury for the Marlins. Blurred vision? What the hell? Okay, awkward. Maybe he got some dirt in his eyes or something? Very weird. Well, maybe a fan ran onto the field and pepper sprayed him? Dylan House singles in Irizarry 3-0. 4-0 now for Texas. Poised to tie this series up. Jacob Dempsey with a solo shot for Arizona. Makes it a 2-run lead. Giblin with a 3-run jack makes it 10-6 for Colorado. I guess it's their turn to slobber knock. If you've been in this league for more than 2 IRL years, and you don't understand that the playoffs are 75% a crapshoot at this point, I don't know what to say. Obviously, better teams over the long haul will win out most of the time, but yeah, it's playoffs. It happens in real life too. Teams get hot at the right time, teams get cold, injuries. It's the name of the game, baby. Speaking of injuries, Toronto with 2 runs off a hoofed double. John Charles sac fly. LA breaks the tie. Oh my god, they're already in the top of the 8th in LA and Miami. Quinn Reynosa. Now, we are about to click on our... Exactly. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. You just have to get in, man. I really wish more fringe teams, and I'm kind of hypocritical for saying this because I was a fringe team and I sold, but I really think fringe teams who like have played, you know, have a negative pathag, you should go for it, man. You just have to get in. Anyway, Lawrence McIver. This is, I believe, the 9th injury for a Colorado player. Every single Colorado player I have clicked on so far has been wrecked. And I'm not exaggerating. Every single one. Lawrence McIver was injured while running the bases. And guess what? He is wrecked as well. It's a team of wrecked players. What the fuck? I mean, I thought you guys were just being salty when you talked about how, like, injury prone they should have been. That's hilarious, man. The strained back, then back spasms, so he's probably not going to play through this shit, but... it is incredible, dude. 10 players I've clicked on. 10 wrecked dudes. Alright, we carry on. It's 12-6 for Colorado. There's a record. I'm sure it's for hits or runs scored or something. The wrecked team that wrecks teams. I love that. I absolutely love that. 15-6. Okay, well. We've got ourselves a tie series in Colorado. Oh no, Colorado's going to go up 3-1. What the fuck? Oh my god, top of the 9th inning, 2-run homer from Mazgurzuski for LA. Late insurance runs again for LA. Still 0 out as well. Top of the 9th, Miami trails by 2. Arizona looking to tie this series up at 2 apiece. They've already upset the Barbs. They're hanging in tough with the Marlins. It fills my mouth with bile to say this, but maybe the D-backs are for real. Well, Kent Homa hits a solo shot to cut the lead in half. Now one swing in the back can tie this game, but there's 2 outs. Rosamina. And the D-bags hold on to tie the series up at 2. We've got a best of 3, baby. California with a leadoff man aboard. They need one more runner to threaten. There it is. Flash Poe. Nobody out. Calica at the plate. He singles. The bases are loaded. Ah! What the fuck? Wow! What the hell? Single, single, single. Bing, bang, boom in your ass. And we have a tie series. Oh my god. I got stun locked because the bases were loaded, then all of a sudden the game ended, and for half a second I was like, what happened? Wow, dude, that's wild. Holy shit. Dude, yeah, how often do you see a walk-off grand slam? In a situation where, I mean, let's face it, if you go down 3-1 to LA, it's pretty much the death knell. Holy fucking shit. Toronto! They hold on. Barely. By the skin of their teeth. After they took the lead in the 8th, I didn't even see this. Because I was too busy screaming my face off. Toronto comes back and now has a oh my god, man. 18-8. Alright, I was speeding this up. This shit is over. 24 hits. Okay, we might be reaching record territory for the number of hits here. 24 is a lot of fucking hits. What's even crazier is 18 runs on 24 hits. How many base runners are they? They might have like 35 base runners with walks and shit. Forfeit rule. Sorry, I get a little girly scream when I get excited. Oh my god. Alright guys, Bernal Ortega has left the game with an injury. The 11th Rocky we are clicking on. Is he wrecked as well? Oh my god, there's a lot of records. We'll look at the records after. Oh my god, the streak is broken. Bernal Ortega is only fragile. Mr. Furry? Hey, don't be ashamed of being furry. At least I stand for something. Day-to-day, strained abdominal muscle. Oh my god, that's great. Colorado Reckies? That's fucking better than the wrecked team that wrecks. Oh my god. You guys are geniuses, you know that? You guys are literal geniuses, I swear. Alright, let's get this game over with so we can get a file up and everybody can witness the damage. All 8 teams have something to download in this file and look at and be like, what the fuck, really? Alright, there we go. Alright, let's save it and then let's look at the box score of this Colorado game, because I clicked on it and there was like 4 records. Christian Giblin with 2 runs, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. Bernal Ortega, who got hurt, was 5 for 5. And yeah, Gilberto Cruz, 3 for 4. With a game-winning and potentially series-saving grand slam in the bottom of the fucking 9th. Off a pretty good player, by the way. Man, he took a step back. Oh my god. Well, we talk about coming back to earth. How about your BABIP increasing by 150 points? 150 points in one season. Are you serious? I don't think I've ever seen a spread like that. That's fucking wild. Anyway, holy shit. Alright, let's look at this box score. Ortega ties the playoff record with runs. Giblin ties the Colorado playoff record for RBIs. Excuse me. Ortega ties the AL playoff record with 5 hits. Holy macaroni, man. Can we slow it down? It's the 9th. What are you talking about? The game's been over for a while, dude. Oh, I see. You're memeing. Alright. Yeah, we should. Okay, game 5. Sure I did these correctly. Miami, Texas, LA, Montreal. Okay, we're good. No random Detroit sighting this time. Alright, kids. God damn. I hate to say this, but the DCS is usually like the wild card is crazy and fun because there's just so many teams and games, but the DCS is usually kind of like meh compared to the wild card, but holy fuck. This has been one of the best DCSs I think I've ever seen, so exciting times. Parity is high. Good teams slugging it out. Bad teams somehow wrecking their way potentially into the RCS. Walk-offs, slobber knockers. It's a good time to be a fan of the Sky. Or, oh, sorry. Sky's dead! Oh, wait, sorry. Sky's dead. Alright. That's it for me. Goodbye, fuckers. I'll see you, yeah, later tonight, I'm sure. Goodbye!